Hello everyone, I'm Brian Tracy and I want to thank you for joining me today for this training on the 4 steps to a 6-figure speaking career. Professional speakers are some of the highest paid people in the world. Beginning speakers can earn up to $5,000 per talk, while some of the most advanced speakers earn up to $250,000 per talk. You can earn a 6-figure living, that means more than $100,000 a year, as a professional speaker, even if you're just starting your speaking career, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do that in this training today. The 4 steps to earning a 6-figure income that I'll cover today are: first, how to determine and set your speaking fees; second, how to get speaking engagements; third, how to position and market yourself as a speaker; and fourth, how to negotiate speaking engagements and deliver a powerful talk. But before I begin, I want to share with you 3 unwavering facts about becoming a professional speaker that have always been and will always remain true. The first fact is that great speakers are made, not born. Some of the very best speakers in history were at once poor at it. Some were terrible. They couldn't speak at all. It's true that some of the most competent speakers today who earn 6- to 7-figure incomes at one time could not lead silent prayer in a phone booth. Many people who appear confident and articulate in front of an audience were at one time terrified at the idea of standing up and speaking in public. One of my friends, who now speaks to thousands of people, was so nervous the first time he stood up to speak that he wet his pants and had to run off the stage. Today he speaks confidently to thousands of people and is very impressive. Your goal should be to join the ranks of the top 10% of speakers. And you should continue to remind yourself that almost everyone who is in the top 10% today started in the bottom 10%. Everyone who is doing well was once doing poorly. As my friend Harv Eker says, every master was once a disaster. The second fact is that becoming a professional speaker is not easy. It never has been easy and it never will be. If it were easy, everybody would be doing it, but they aren't. And that's because being a professional speaker is the same as starting and running your own business. It takes a lot of work and time and persistence, and especially resilience, bouncing back from the inevitable disappointments that you'll experience, a lot at the beginning, but throughout your career. The third and most important fact is that it's 100% possible for you to become a professional speaker and earn a 6-figure income doing it, even if you're just starting your speaking career. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that in this training today. So with that being said, I'm going to share with you some extremely valuable information on how to become a powerful professional speaker, make money, and earn a great living doing it. I'll cover different strategies and tips, including effective preparation methods, strategies for marketing yourself, and some different methods for getting and negotiating speaking engagements. Now remember, I've given more than 5,000 talks to more than 5 million people in 65 countries, everything from 10-minute talks to 5-day talks, each one of which I've written, designed, and presented myself. I'm probably one of the busiest professional speakers in the world because I drink my own Kool-Aid. I practice what I preach, and the things that I'm going to teach you are what I do every day, every week, every month, and have done for many years. So if you want to become a powerful professional speaker, you're in the right place. We have a lot to cover today in a short amount of time, so let's begin. First, let's talk about what professional speaking really is. If you really want to earn a living as a speaker, it's crucial for you to understand that it is a business. It's not a hobby, it's not an extracurricular activity, it's a business. And you should always be focused on the business side of the industry if you want to make a lot of money. Some people want to become speakers because they want the fame and notoriety that it brings, which is fine. But if you get caught up in the fame aspect of speaking and lose sight of the business end, you'll never be a successful speaker. In fact, like many speakers, you can end up broke at the end of your career if you just think about being a speaker rather than running a profitable business. Now that being said, You will also not become a successful speaker if the main reason, or the only reason that you want to become a speaker, is to earn a lot of money. That, as they say in statistics, is necessary but not sufficient. Successful speakers are those who feel very strongly about their message and getting it out to the public while keeping their focus on the bottom line. If you feel strongly about your message and truly want to share it with others, you'll find a way to effectively express it no matter what. The key is then to take your passionate message and turn it into dollars, or pounds, or yuan, or some other currency. So mentally shift your mindset and focus to the business of speaking, and the business of speaking is the business of marketing. The amount of money you will earn from speaking is equal to your ability to properly market and position yourself as a speaker. The way that you make money as a speaker is to provide value and solutions to your audience in the form of the message and subject that you are passionate about. You make money by bridging the gap between where your clients are today and where they can be in the future using the valuable insights and solutions you provide them with in your talk. The great rule for success in business is to find people with a problem and then solve it for them in a cost-effective way. A good friend of mine once said that every speech has a job to do, and the job that every speech has to do is to solve a problem or to help an audience member to achieve a goal. For example, if you're an expert in finance and you're passionate about helping others gain financial independence, then your talk needs to provide your audience with valuable information and tips on how to save money, invest safely, and protect themselves financially for the future. It's got to have content. As the old advertisement says, where's the beef? Well, your talk has got to be the beef. If your audience takes away at least one strategy on how to save money more effectively in this example from your talk, then you will have achieved this goal, and your audience will walk away feeling that the value you provided them was worth whatever their investment was to hear you speak. Sometimes people will say that what you said changed their lives. What you said transformed them financially or in whatever field you're in. As long as the value that you provide to your audience is higher than the investment they pay to hear you speak, you can continue to raise your prices as a speaker by 10 and 20 and even 30%. This leads me to the first step in today's training, which is how to determine your speaking fees. One of the most common questions I get asked from up-and-coming speakers is, how much should I charge for a speaking engagement? And the answer is, it depends. There's a formula for setting your fee for specific engagements, and the rate at which you charge is contingent upon these factors. First of all, your level of expertise in your subject. Second of all, the length of your talk. Third of all, how many times you will be speaking for this particular customer. Fourth, if you're able to sell from the stage at the conclusion of your talk so that you can have additional income from products and services. Next is the location where you will be speaking. How far away is it? The size of the audience that you'll be speaking to is important, and the potential to gain new clients from this engagement will also affect how much you charge. However, if you're just starting out in your career, the best way to price yourself as a speaker is to find out what your competitors are charging. Who else is speaking on the same subject matter? How much experience do they have? How much are they charging? Remember, this is a business, and all business decisions are made relative to your competition and what your competition is doing and charging. Is your level of expertise and experience comparable to theirs? If so, your speaking fee should reflect theirs. Now, your fees need to be competitive, and staying competitive does not mean pricing yourself beneath what your competitors are charging. It simply means positioning yourself as the better option. If you start to undercut your pricing just to beat out your competitors, you will be sending a message that you can devalue your quality as a speaker. Some people say that speakers have 3 fees. They have the fee that they announce when someone asks how much do you charge, the fee that they are willing to negotiate if the customer is not willing to pay the fee, and then the lowest fee that they're willing to accept, which is what they'll do to get the business. In my experience, I've always set my fees so that they're fair and competitive, and then I never negotiate unless there are special benefits that I can get. So if your competitor, who has the same level of credibility and experience that you do, is charging $5,000 for a 90-minute keynote speech, then you should also be charging $5,000 for a 90-minute speech. The key here is not to charge less, but to offer more. And this is all done by how you market and position yourself as a speaker. Your goal is to position yourself as the better option. We say the best choice, by making sure that the perceived and actual value that you provide is much higher than your competition. You can do this by offering a bonus, or offering to speak for longer, or reducing the risk of investment. One way to do this is to offer a risk reversal guarantee. For example, when you're negotiating with the event host, you can say, "I always over-deliver, and because of that, I'm so sure that you'll be satisfied with the value I provide that I'm willing to guarantee it. If for any reason you're not 100% satisfied, I'll refund my speaking fees in full, or you don't have to pay." Now, this is a positive incentive, and it also builds your credibility and confidence as a speaker. I started doing this right after I began speaking because nobody would book me until I was willing to give an unconditional guarantee, and I've done that throughout my career. Only once or twice, for a variety of reasons, have I had to either not get paid or give a refund, and I've spoken a lot of times. So you need to set yourself apart from your competition with your own unique value proposition. Whether it's a risk reversal guarantee or a free gift for each member of the audience, whatever it is, it must be clear in your positioning. And your positioning is all in your marketing. I'll cover some marketing strategies in a minute. But first of all, I want to talk to you about the second step in earning a six-figure income as a speaker, which is how to get speaking engagements. If you already have experience speaking, then you may already know that your best leads for future engagements are in your audience. Next time you deliver a talk, network with some audience members before and after your talk and see if any of them are interested in hiring you to speak in the future. In fact, the most important part of promoting yourself and marketing yourself is to give an excellent talk every time you get a chance to speak, and get to know and talk to people so that they know you and feel comfortable with you as a person as opposed to someone on the stage. You also get more speaking engagements by asking the organizer of the speaking event that you've spoken to refer you to someone else who may also be interested in hiring you to speak. 85% of speakers are booked on the basis of referrals, recommendations, and testimonials. Your job is to create as many as possible. However, if you're just starting your career and you don't have much experience public speaking, you'll have to go out and find your clients at first. Don't expect them to come to you. And don't spend any time advertising, print, newspaper, radio, television, mail, nothing. None of that sells speaking engagements at the beginning. One of the most common questions I get asked by people who want to become professional speakers is, how do I find speaking engagements, or how do I find more speaking engagements? Where do I look? And the answer is everywhere. The good news is that finding speaking engagements and clients is far easier today than it has ever been before. You can find speaking engagements anywhere and everywhere. It's just a matter of knowing where to look. This is something I cover in depth in my six-figure speaker training program, but I'll touch on a few of the ideas now. Start with your target market and your audience. Ask yourself what kind of people will benefit most from your speaking services and subject matter. How old are they? Where are they located? What do they do for a living? What kind of companies do they work for? Once you've defined the demographics and psychographics of your target market, then it's time to go out and find the organizations and clubs and businesses that service your target market. Now, thanks to the internet, and companies and organizations that hire speakers regularly list the event planner or conference planner's contact information on the company's website. So what you have to do is find it and contact them, and then contact them again. You'll have to be persistent if you want to be successful. You'll have to expect a lot of rejection at the beginning. Find local clubs and organizations in your area. Every city has local organizations, such as the Chamber of Commerce, that hire speakers or use speakers on a weekly or monthly basis. And a lot of these organizations need to hire guest speakers on a regular basis to fill in additional content at their meetings and conferences throughout the year. No matter where you live, you're surrounded by these organizations, so locate the ones in your area, contact the program chair of the club to offer your services. College, universities, and educational institutes are another great place to get speaking engagements. Contact the person who's most relevant to your subject matter. For example, if you speak on small business strategies, find a professor that teaches business courses, or contact the head of the business department and ask if they're interested in having you as a guest speaker. You can also book engagements through networking groups. Use websites like eventbrite.com to find local networking events in your area. You can then attend the next local networking event to meet the event facilitators, or just contact them directly. Now, the event facilitators' contact information is always listed in the event details. Call them and ask them if they would be interested in having you speak at one of their next events. By the way, on many occasions when I was starting off, I would call them and they would say, well, we don't have a budget, but we would invite you to speak if you speak at no charge. And rather than staying at home watching television, I said, all right, I'll speak at no charge. And that turned into paid speaking engagements that sometimes went on for years. Remember, you've got to get yourself up in front of as many potential decision makers as possible. The most important key to success is ultimately stage time. Time on your feet in front of audiences that can hire you or can recommend you to people who can hire you. Now, you can also find events and conferences by searching and online conference directories, such as the Laynard Corporation, LAYNYRD.com. These web directories allow you to search for events by topic and location. Call or email the event host. You can find the event host's contact information in the event details. Another great way to find speaking opportunities is through LinkedIn. Join LinkedIn groups that are relevant to your subject matter and connect with people who could be potential clients and would benefit from your speaking services. I could go on and on about this because there are countless ways to find speaking engagements. But for time's sake, we have to move on to the third step in today's training. If you want more information on where to find engagements, my six-figure speaker training program covers all of this in depth and includes a full list of my recommended company, platforms, contacts, directories, and websites that will be of incredible value to you as an inspiring speaker. Now let's talk about the third step to earning a six-figure speaking income, which is how to position and market yourself as a speaker. There are thousands of ways to do this, and I'll share a few of them with you now. As you know, we are living in the age of advanced technology, in which people are creating and searching and finding and spreading information faster and easier and in more ways than ever before. With social media platforms and search engines and rapid word-of-mouth marketing, there are no limits to how you can market yourself as an expert and a speaker. Also, in today's world, people are now consuming information in almost every format, from large seminars, business conferences, to digital webinars like this, podcasts, and of course, online video. Just think about how many people have become overnight YouTube sensations with a single video that 1 million people or more watched. Bottom line, there have never been more opportunities for you to get your expertise out to the public than there are today. It's just a matter of having the right marketing assets that you will need. One of the most important marketing assets you absolutely must have is an online presence. You need to make it very easy and convenient for people to find information about you and your expertise and what you offer. And as you know, the internet is the #1 place where people go when they're trying to find information on any subject. People will never stop searching for information, and with search engines like Google, people can find anything they are looking for faster and easier than ever before. There's a reason why Google is one of the most powerful companies in the world. Your job as a speaker is to make sure that your name, expertise, services, and contact information are all searchable, accessible, and can be found online through Google and other search engines. So the most important marketing piece you need in order to have an online presence is a website. Your website needs to clearly showcase who you are, what you specialize in, and why someone should hire you as a speaker. The internet is one of the first places that decision makers go to when they're looking to hire a speaker. Some examples of these decision makers include event planners, meeting managers, conference hosts, and convention directors. And one of the first things they look for on your website is your credibility. Your job is to make sure that your website provides all the information that effectively markets you as the ideal speaker that they should hire. If you already have a speaking background, list the companies and engagements that you've spoken at. Even better, get testimonials from the people and companies that you've spoken for and put them on your website. Social proof testimonials is a very powerful marketing tool for speakers. However, if you're just starting out as a professional speaker and you don't have this social proof yet, the best thing you can do or have on a website is your blog. Your blog is where you can provide a ton of valuable information and content that showcases your level of expertise on your subject, and it's a very effective way to build your personal credibility. Blogging has proven to be a very lucrative strategy for marketing yourself, your brand, and your products or services. You should also be using social media. As a speaker, having a social media presence is very helpful for finding your target market and extending your reach by getting your message out there and in front of more people. If you don't have a social presence and don't plan on building one, you should still use social media for other reasons. And here's why. Social media is basically the world's largest online dinner table where there are billions of conversations happening all day, every day. And you can bet that right now there are people having at least one, if not thousands of conversations about the subject you speak on. Your job is to make sure that your name is included in those conversations moving forward. So 3 of the marketing assets you'll need are an online presence, a website, a blog, and social media interaction. The 4th step to earning a 6-figure speaking income is negotiating speaking engagements and delivering a powerful talk, as I mentioned before. And the foundation of this is value, value, value. To provide the highest amount of value to your clients, you must first identify what it is that you are an expert on. What subject are you most knowledgeable about? What kind of advice do people usually ask you for? What subject are you most passionate about? This is your speaking topic. In order to land speaking engagements, you need to position yourself as the expert authority on your subject, which means that you need to actually be the expert authority on your subject. You need to know your subject inside and out and prepare thoroughly in advance so that your audience immediately views you as the expert and thought leader on your subject within the first few minutes you start speaking. Ernest Hemingway once wrote that as an author, you must know 10 words for every word you write, or the reader will know that this is not a true thing. Well, as a speaker, you must read, research, and know 50 to 100 words on your subject for every word you speak, or the listener will know that you are speaking off the top of your head. I was talking to a friend of mine recently who was asked to give a talk on a subject that he hadn't spoken on before, but it was a good prospective client and a good subject. So he thought he would just throw together some information. He was astonished. It took him more than 20 hours of research to develop a 30-minute talk. He was astonished at how much homework he had to do for even a short speech. And you'll be astonished too, at least the first few times. Now, in public speaking, people can immediately tell if you lack a depth of knowledge on your subject, and they sense this by how well you are prepared or not. So if, for example, you're giving a 2,000-word speech on the subject of time management, then you need to read, research, and know 100 to 200,000 words worth of information about time management. You can't just write down a list and then repeat it when you stand up. Don't make the mistake of not preparing in advance, or you'll immediately lose your audience attention and respect, and in return, you lose your credibility. With that being said, not only do you need to thoroughly prepare on your speaking subject in advance, but you also need to prepare for whom you will be speaking to. The way you craft and deliver your speech will not be the same for every audience, even if it's on the same subject matter. Each audience is different and has different needs and requirements. Believe me, it will not go over well if you prepare a talk that is targeted to resonate with college students and then you deliver it to an audience of middle-aged business owners. So before you give your speech, do research on your audience and find out everything you can about them. Sometimes I say, what is the question that the owl asks in the deep woods? And the audience always says, who? It's the most important question in marketing. Who exactly are the people that you'll be speaking to? What do they think about? What do they feel? What do they worry about? What do they want most from you? And what can you give them that would be most helpful to them? So here are some research elements that you need to find out about your audience before you speak. First of all, what is the general age range of your audience? What is the gender and the gender ratio? How many males and females? What is their average occupation? What do they do? What's their average income? How much do they earn? What is their education? How many years of schooling have they had? And so on. Now, once you've identified your speaking subject matter and the demographics and psychographics, the way people think and feel of your audience, you then create and tailor your talk to resonate with that specific audience. Your audience must feel like you are talking directly to them personally. In trying to land a paid engagement, the event planner or the person you are trying to negotiate the engagement with also needs to know and to view you as the expert authority on your subject. There are a lot of different ways that you can negotiate a speaking engagement, especially when you're first starting out. If your potential client is trying to negotiate for a lesser fee, consider what you can do to make the deal fair for both parties. There are many ways for you to negotiate with clients to find the right deal for both of you. The key is to not sell yourself short under any circumstances. This also means not saying yes to every deal. Generally speaking, most entry-level speakers start out charging $2,500 for a 60 to 90-minute keynote speech. They may charge $2,500 for a full day of training. They may charge $500 or $1,000. These are the average standard rates for speakers who are new to the paid engagement game. Speakers who are more advanced and have more experience generally charge $5,000 to $7,500 for a 60 to 90-minute keynote speech, or even a half day. If your goal is to earn $100,000 annual income or more as a speaker, then you divide that goal by your average speaking fee, which will give you the number of engagements you need to book in a year to reach your income goal. So if you're a new speaker, for example, and you charge $2,500 per keynote speech, and you want to earn $100,000 per year as a speaker, then you need to book roughly 3 to 4 engagements per month. You can also use this formula in reverse to find out what speaking fee you need to work your way up to. If you want to speak once a month and earn $100,000 annual income from speaking, then you'll need to work toward a $7,500 speaking fee. At the start of your career, you'll have to land more speaking opportunities than you want to. This is just the way it goes. No great speaker has ever come out of the gates charging $15,000 per talk as a beginner. It's not just how it works in the speaking industry. You have to earn your speaker fee, and you do that by gaining experience at lower rates and then raising your fees to work your way up the price ladder. My first paid engagement was to a group of construction company managers, and they paid me $150 for an evening talk. And I was happy to have the work. Of course, that was many years ago. One of the biggest mistakes speakers make is not knowing when to raise their fees. Now, raising your fees is uncomfortable at first, and you must be careful at it, and it requires you to move out of your comfort zone. The most important part of negotiating a higher fee is for you to be 100% confident and comfortable in the fee you charge. If you don't believe you are worth what you charge, no one else will believe you either. So trust your gut. Don't be afraid to say no if the deal isn't worth it to you. Don't undercut your fees just to get the opportunity. This will devalue your credibility as a speaker immediately. Now, all of the information and strategies I've shared with you today is crucial to your success as a speaker. But it's important to know that the topics I've been able to cover today are only a few of the moving pieces to earning a six-figure income as a successful professional speaker. There are a ton of effective strategies to becoming a better speaker, to market yourself, and to get speaking engagements. And that's why I want to introduce my six-figure speaker training program. This virtual training course is a very limited, hands-on, advanced training program with incredible bonuses and done-for-you marketing assets. When you enroll in the six-figure speaker training program, you'll get lifetime access to this training course comprised of highly valuable content and strategy-packed video modules that cover all facets of earning a six-figure income as a professional speaker for the rest of your life, including how to get speaking engagements and negotiate contracts, techniques for building confidence and overcoming the fear of public speaking. You'll learn preparation strategies and how to identify and know your audience in advance, how to set and adjust your speaker fees, highly effective techniques for closing your talk that will get you a standing ovation every time. You'll learn the elements of persuasion and how to sell from the stage. You'll learn the three main components of your message. You'll learn how to speak on camera and the secret to creating effective videos. You'll learn vocal techniques and body language tips, and so much more. You'll also receive over $3,000 worth of additional bonuses, including copies of my speaking contracts that you can adapt and use for your own business. You'll get real copies of my personal contracts from past speaking engagements that I've done for large corporations and organizations such as Lululemon and Edward Jones. You can use them as a guide for creating your own speaking contracts. You'll get done-for-you speaking contract templates. All you have to do to customize these templates is to fill in the blanks for each engagement. You'll get my full list of recommended resources for finding engagements. This includes specific clubs, organizations, directories, bureaus, nonprofits, networking groups, websites, and other tools that you can use to find speaking engagements. You'll get copies of my speaking questionnaires. Now, these are personal documents that I've used with past clients, literally thousands of them, to negotiate fees and land engagements with large corporations and organizations. You'll get speaking questionnaire templates. These templates include sample speaking questions that you can customize and send out to clients who want to hire you to speak. You'll get my list of suggested audience-free giveaway ideas. This is a full list of giveaway ideas you can use to capture audience contact information, provide additional value, and add even more credibility. You get copies of my product order forms. These are real copies of order forms that I've used to sell my products and services from the stage and collect buyer information for sales processing. I'll give you order form templates that you can use and customize for your own products and services when you're selling from the stage or off the stage. You'll get my event packing list. This is a detailed list of everything you need to bring to your speaking engagement to ensure that you are fully prepared. You'll receive my book, Speak to Win. This is my 208-page book that covers the secrets and strategies of influencing, persuading, and negotiating as a powerful communicator. You'll get my audio CD program, Speak on Your Feet. This is my 1-hour audio program that covers how to keep your audiences engaged, incorporate humor and storytelling into your talks, and get a standing ovation every time. In my six-figure speaker training program, you'll discover the most coveted secrets and profound speaking and communication strategies that some of the biggest names in television, radio, entertainment, and the media industry have used to achieve fame and fortune and wonderful results. I'm so confident in this program that I'm offering you a full guarantee. If at any point you feel that this training course isn't right for you, just let us know within 30 days of starting the course and we'll give you a full refund, no questions asked. I've been doing that from the beginning. In this training program, I'm going to share my most closely guarded secrets and tricks of the trade with you, and I will teach you everything I know about becoming a professional speaker. We'll cover everything from the fundamentals and foundations of professional speaking all the way through to advanced speaking techniques that the most influential and remembered speakers in history have used to get to where they are today. I've been a professional speaker for more than 30 years. As I mentioned, I've spoken to more than 5 million people worldwide and given talks in every major city in the US, Canada, and in 65 other countries. I know every aspect of what it takes to become a professional speaker. The students I have taught my expertise to have gone on to build highly profitable careers as professional speakers. See what some of my students have to say.
There are many public speaking courses you can take from. The best, the one that changed my life, was Brian Tracy's course. Every dollar I've spent with Brian Tracy, I have increased my income by 1,000.
He allowed me to really become such a strong speaker.
Learn the art of public speaking from who I consider one of the best.
The reason why I've sold millions and millions of exercise DVDs is because I've learned to be a better communicator, a speaker, a teacher.
If you're going to learn how to speak and you're going to learn how to crystallise your message and to put it out into the market, who better to come to see than Brian Tracy?
If you want the same results, take advantage of this opportunity and click the button below to register for my 6-figure speaker training program today. I'm giving you everything I could possibly give you to help you to become a successful professional speaker and earn a great living doing it. To recap, when you enroll in this training program, you'll get lifetime access to this content and strategy-packed video training course. You'll get bonus written modules and video action guides. You'll get copies of my speaking contracts. You'll get done-for-you speaking contract templates. You'll get my full list of recommended resources for finding engagements. You'll get copies of my speaking questionnaires. You'll get speaking questionnaire templates that you can use. You'll get a step-by-step guide on how to create your own speaker's kit. You'll get my list of suggested audience free giveaway ideas. You'll get copies of my product order forms. You'll get order form templates and a step-by-step guide for outlining your message and creating your powerful talk and presentation. You'll get my event packing list, my book, Speak to Win, my audio CD program, Speak on Your Feet. Well, spots are limited for my 6-figure speaker training program, and I'm offering a special early bird discount to all of you who attended this training with me today. The early bird enrollment discount will only be available for a limited time, and then course enrollment goes back up to full price. Again, I'm offering a full 30-day guarantee, so enrolling is risk-free. If at any time you feel that this training course isn't right for you, just let us know within 30 days of starting the course, and we'll give you a full refund, no questions asked. My 6-figure speaker training program begins soon, and once it does, the doors close, and there's no late admission. So take action and register today by clicking the button below.